It's your homie C-Lock from Network and Chill, where the network is real and entrepreneurs build, man. Y'all come on and rock with us.
Sean Fields, man. Y'all know where to catch me every single Monday night. We coming with heat, man. Y'all better make sure y'all get y'all's priorities together, man. We going over small business entrepreneurship, some financial tips, man. Pete, tell me, man.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Oh, hey, it's your boy Peanut, CEO of Dash Resource LLC. Your business is my business, and this guy needs a logo. Pharaoh.
Yo, it's Pharaoh. Yeah, make sure you at Gym City Market. Monday, December 19th, man. We there. Entrepreneurs. Yeah, come on.
What up, fam?
Hey, bro, I heard y'all got a new store opening up.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Where it's at?
100 North Main.
Okay, y'all gonna be doing...
Already know.
Oh, okay. What's it called then, bro?
It's called...
Grills on Main Street. 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 What's up, Stacking Smith?
What up, fam?
Maybe that's a paid ad.
Yeah, it's a paid
Advertise.
Live, let's go.
Hey, what's good? What's good? Hey, yo, it's your boy Peanut, CEO of Dash Resource LLC. I got my man, Kevin Easley, in the building.
Yes, sir. What's going down, little bro?
You gonna do the sponsors real quick?
Do the sponsors.
Take a point weight already, man. Let's start off right, man.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You over there, man? I don't know why he can't just. Okay.
Me?
Yeah.
I will do it. But I'm just saying, like, he's right there.
Let's roll.
This is
This is like funny Marco.
Man. Y'all idiots. Here, Ease.
Go ahead, really.
All right, y'all. What's up to all our sponsors? Come on, Ease, put it on us. It's me and you, big bro.
All right.
Go, Ease.
Man, our sponsor.
Oh, Ease. All right, bro. Sheiks for breakfast, Agnes All Natural Grill for lunch. If you're ever injured, call attorney Michael. Right. And when you want to get lit a little bit, get you some good old Kiara wine. Relax and unwind with Kiara wine.
Hit
You
up
can swoop it
Antoine
up.
Cunningham.
You can get it from Antoine Ease. Now listen, I gave you a chance to do this,
You
man.
get it
Don't
from
try to
all
ad
over.
lib my
Let's roll.
okay. T-shirt Kings, go for your mouth, Camera Kings, and the Legendary People podcast. Like, subscribe,
sir.
ring the bell notification so you can get alerted every time we drop hot content like we dropping today.
Tell me about your book.
Let's
go.
Stolen, the book of
Let's
Ahava
go.
Elyon, stolen from my father, named after my mother's murderer. Man, it's coming soon, man.
Get your
Real
order
soon,
in.
man. So you guys be ready to get that. And
your orders
Network
in.
and Chill, the official CEO of Network and Chill, my bro P Dashes, man. He gets you guys together with a whole lot of stuff, networking,
Yeah.
and the like. And he also teaches you how to get a big old bag of money on his show, Sales Stocks Not Dope, every Sunday on the Dash Resource channel. Like, subscribe, ring the bell notification on that as well. All right, man. T-shirt Kings, go for your mouth. I know I already said it, but I just try to outdo
Peanut,
and say
over to
my
you.
last. Peanut.
Let's go.
This has been my favorite intro ever. With all, man, listen here.
It's a village.
You are getting a very special intro. I probably watch 100 of our interviews, and it never started off like that before. Without further ado, let's talk about a very, very pressing issue before we get into our guest today. We have Sierra J. Chapman is missing. Have you heard a little bit about this story?
I haven't.
So she was last seen going to her ex-boyfriend's house. Her car was seen leaving there, and then her vehicle was found a week later in Middletown, Ohio. They have not seen her anywhere. She's 5'5", 115 pounds, man. Be on the lookout for her, man, for sure. And our thoughts and our prayers are with her family for sure right now. Yes. Oh, yes. If you guys want to join the search, tomorrow is at 9 a.m. at Possum
February
Creek.
11th. February 11th. Saturday, 9 a.m.
February 11th.
Possum Creek.
At Possum Creek, 9
Next
a.m.
Saturday.
For sure. And if you guys have any tips, please make sure you guys call the police. You feel me? We ain't even doing that funny stuff. You feel me? This right here is very, very serious, man. So, man.
Blessings.
So, here on the Legendary People Podcast, we had to find out the origins of our legends. Without further ado, CHATAUN Moore, where did you grow up?
I'm a legend.
Yes.
That's what people know me as, CHATAUN Moore, but my name is CHATAUN Denis. I got married. Where did I grow up? Oh, man, I done lived everywhere in Dayton. Dunbar Manor, Soda Bass, Washington Arms, Westwood, Five Oaks, Hillcrest, North Lake Hills, Northland,
Dang.
all of them.
Everywhere.
In the
All my
Gym
family
City.
lived everywhere. I was always Westland.
is the best?
Otterbein, let me think. It was probably Westwood.
There we go. Great answer.
Westwood.
Great answer.
Yeah.
So where did you spend most of your time growing up? Exactly.
And which neighborhood?
Yeah.
Westwood. That's where my grandmother moved from the Soda Bass to Westwood. She had a little 1-bedroom apartment on the corner at Kilmer and Camer. The house gone now.
Yeah.
But she lived there for almost 30 years, and that's where we grew up.
All right. So do you have any siblings?
Yep, I got a brother. 10 years, 9.5 years younger than me.
Okay. So yeah. So what was life like? You have your mom, your dad around growing up?
No.
Lean forward to the mic.
Oh, sorry.
So you won't lose.
That's good. All right.
That's how we want you, right?
Thank you.
So my father, y'all want real?
Yeah.
All right. My father was murdered when I was 5.
Whoa.
He was an abuser, and he abused the wrong woman, and her family, her brothers, took care of that. So I was 5. The only memory I have of him is him in his casket. I didn't process it until probably maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
Wow.
When I started, working on all my healing, working on my trauma. But yeah, so that was my dad. My mom, she, 1985, that's when she started smoking crack.
Okay.
She got high until she OD'd and killed herself on, in September the 6th, 2019. She got a hold to some fentanyl.
Wow.
So, yeah, then my parents.
So who did you spend most of your time with growing up?
My family. Because all of our parents were, in the streets pretty much. So, most of the time we was raising ourselves, or we were with my grandmother in her 1-bedroom apartment, walking to Nobles, getting penny candy. But, yeah, probably my grandmother. Yeah.
What was one of the one of the greatest memories growing up with your grandmother, something like that? Just
Man, them rows. My grandmother, she like I said, she was from the Soda Bass, and so when she moved away, she went back and she taught women how to feed their family on pretty much nothing, which is the inspiration and the legacy that I leave with my work. But them rows. She would make them rolls. She taught us how to make ice cream. She would feed the whole neighborhood on a bag of rice, a can of beans, a jar of canned tomatoes, and we would eat good. We would eat good. And so it was just, although we had a lot of turmoil going on, we were still having fun. We were still kicking it, all of my first cousins were my siblings, pretty much. So we were always over there together, and we just grew up together.
Who are some of your favorites when it came to your friends and stuff like that? Who were some of your day one friends? I mean, I know it sounds like
my day ones.
Yeah, no, not sound like family, but
Monica Taylor. She was the one that lived in DeSoto Bass. I was in Washington Arms. I met her in first grade, and we still friends to this day. She the one managing the Facebook account for Shop Black Biz Dayton.
Wow. Truly a day one.
Yeah, truly a day one. She's my longest friend, and we still together.
So
yeah,
I wanted to ask you about your dad a little bit more. So you were 5 when he passed away. Did you guys have a relationship?
Everybody told me oh my God, your dad loved you so much. He was always on his hip. You was always with him. I don't have a recollection of that. Like I say, the only memory I have of him is looking at him in his casket. And I would hear that growing up, and I would just, put a smile on my face, But once I actually processed it, I was mad as hell. I'm like, you fucking left me to deal with all I had to deal with. It was a few times I came home from school and our shit was on the curb. Evicted. And evicted again. And evicted again. But as a spiritual person, I'm like, he could have stayed, but he could have been on drugs too. And it could have been even more effed up.
So you said your dad was an abuser.
He beat his girlfriend.
He beat his girlfriend.
And her brothers killed him for it. It would be like,
do you know the story of what happened? I mean, that's a summary.
Yeah.
But like, what would be your father's perspective of what happened?
I don't know. I don't remember him. I don't have any recollection of him being alive. That's the only memory I have.
Did they go to prison for that?
I don't think so. Not from what I've heard. Mm-mm.
Do you know the woman that he supposedly was hitting?
She used to come and get me.
When you were a child, how long did she stay in your life after your father had passed?
She started coming to get me. Which, when I look back on it, I wonder if she felt guilty.
Guilt, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was short lived. She would come and get me, and I'd hang out with her. And to this day, when I see her, I say hello, because I can relate. I can identify. Somebody hurt me. My cousins, they coming. They coming. I'm not gonna say that they would kill a person, but I don't know. Depending on how bad, who knows?
Right.
So I don't fault her or anybody else for that matter. He was a grown man. He made decisions. He didn't make the best decisions. I heard he was probably the biggest weed dealer around too, but he had a good heart and he gave people jobs and people had money in their pockets, which makes sense too, because I'm a grant writer and I just move money around legally, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't remember him. That's the only memory that I have is that story.
Rest in peace to Pops. You got Bonnie Roberts that said condolences. Brittany Nicole Scott said sorry for your loss.
Thank you, loves. Thank you.
Reaching out, showing you some love. And your mom and your dad, they were split up when you were a child?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And was your mom, she was, during the time when your father, when he passed away, and you said later on in life, your mom, she became...
1985, Audubon. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep, that's when it came out, and I had this guy I liked, looking for love in all the wrong places. I was young, and this guy, he was trying to have sex with me, right? I overheard him and his friend talking. They said he want to run a train on me. Like, what y'all think this is? That ain't about to happen. So I'm in the house. I hear them outside my window. And so we have an altercation. They leave and then comes around. Well, what he said was, that's why your mama smoked rocks or something like that. And that's how I found out. Because my mama was still going to work every day, but she wasn't going to work. She was leaving the house. I thought she was going to work because she had just graduated from Sinclair with an accounting degree. And I was proud of her. I'm about 9 at the time. Yeah. And he said that to me.
And these guys were talking about they wanted to do that with you when you was only 9 years old?
I might have been 11. I might have been 12. I was maturely built. I might have been 12 at the time because I was about to go to Stivers. That's what it was. I was finished my 6th grade year in Miami Chapel, and I was about to go to Stivers. It was that summer.
How old were they?
Probably in the 8th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, just a couple years older.
So they was kids. Too.
Yeah, they were kids too.
Oh, dirty scoundrels.
Dirty scoundrels. All in divine order.
So like, what kind of student were you in school?
I was always a smart person. I love books. I used to read romance novels as a 9-year-old. Hot steamy ones too. Hot steamy ones. Yeah, I've always been an intellectual, you know.
What did you like about it the most?
Of what?
Like reading and
The storytelling,
like
probably.
an escape.
Probably more imagination, stimulate my imagination, because I have a pretty active imagination. Yeah, I just like taking in knowledge. I like to read. I've always been a loner, so I would just go in my closet, close the door, take me a candle in there, like it was my meditation space, even back then. And I would just read romance novels and get all hot and bothered and stuff.
At a young age.
Get all hot and bothered reading these white romance novels.
Way of talking about reading books before in my life. Like the way she read, for some reason.
That's how she knew what trains was.
Right.
She read a book about Thomas the Train. Like, what do you mean you're going to do that to me? You're not going to Thomas the Train me.
Right. Yeah, I was a kid, but I was adult. My family used to let me drive their cars when I was 9 years old.
What?
Me and my girlfriend Monica would drive to the Salem Mall on Saturdays and hang out at the mall. I was driving myself. So I've always been mature. I had pillows.
Oh man.
Pillows and phone books. Yep. And I asked them now, like, ain't no way I'm letting none of my little cousins drive my car like that.
My daughter 8. It's about 1 year later.
Right.
But times was different.
Times were different.
Times were a lot different, man. Like
yeah.
It seems like the further along we get in time, the more protected and sheltered kids are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the things that I would do when I was a kid, man, I would never ever allow my kids to do.
Yeah.
Never.
Exactly.
Never. Like getting drunk. Like, man, we would get drunk at 7 years. I mean, not 7 years old, but like in the 7th grade, I'll be with my older brothers. Yeah. We're all over 40. Now, if I think about my 7th grade child of mine drinking a beer,
yeah.
Thinking, no.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
But
it was a different time.
Yeah,
it was different. A lot of stuff was.
Yeah, I got on the bus. My mother, she went to St. Clair, and she had a work study. And at Louis Troy in the 2nd grade, I'd get on the RTA and catch the bus to her job.
Yeah.
2nd grade.
Catching the bus was kind of normal for us being real.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let my 2nd grade.
But they won't catch the bus these days.
I wouldn't let my niece or nephews catch the bus now.
I'm picking and dropping off a high schooler.
Right.
Oh my God. So like in hindsight, is that one of the things that kind of helped you later on when it comes to your grant writing, because your imagination that you got a chance to cultivate off of reading all these different books? Because you said before, like writing grants is really it's telling a story.
I don't know that I would connect those two. I don't know.
Take a point from him.
Huh?
Take a point from for asking you that question.
Take a point from him? Yeah. I would say I stumbled on grant writing, really. Like, I used to do it as a part of my jobs, but I never thought to do it as a business. I tried 30 different businesses that failed before I got the one that actually worked. And my husband said, why don't you just start a grant writing business? And I was like, well, damn. It's so easy. And I did it, and it just took off.
But I want to talk about some of your first businesses. Like, what
were some of them?
Yeah.
Oh man, I did a couple of the multi-level marketing. What was some of those? The ACN. Yeah. I tried that one. I started pre-owned bridal gowns. Oh man, that one was super dope. Pre-owned bridal gowns back in like 2002. I'm like, all these daggone gowns we got, people can reuse these.
Right.
Built a website and all of that. But social media like wasn't a thing back then. And so I didn't have the marketing money to be able to push it out. Now it would be a no-brainer. It'd be super easy to do, but that one didn't work. I tried a inspirational magnet business. What other businesses? I did so many over the years. Yeah.
A couple Airbnbs too, didn't you?
Yeah, the Airbnb. I mean, I'm living in that house right now, but I started that in 2018. But before, I started Grand Source in 2007. Before 2007, I did try a good 5 or 6 businesses that failed.
Yeah. What the Moore's Party Supplies? You also.
The Moore's Party Supplies, yeah, we got all the equipment. I want the kids in our family to take that over. We just need somebody to spearhead that one, you know. But we got the equipment. We've tried a few things, and we just got to organize it.
Okay, so to run back to high school, like, what did you think you wanted to be after high school?
In high school, I knew that I wanted to go to a HBCU. Get the hell out of Dayton and go be around some black people and learn and just have that whole experience. That was my vision for myself, because with, you know, my mom's drug habit and the transients and all of that, it's like, I just want to get away from here. I just wanted to leave so bad, you know. And then I got pregnant at 15.
Wow.
So much for that.
Right. So
and I ended up going to White State.
What? What is that?
Wright State.
Oh,
because I was in most cases.
White State. I'm like, what the?
I did. I said White State because I was usually the only black person in my classes. So I called it White State.
So, like, what was that experience like going from, you know, being predominantly around black people to now being, you know, like all by yourself?
It was a little lonely, but I was a commuter, so I just went to campus, did my thing, and went home. I flunked out, though, my freshman year.
What was your major?
I wasn't ready. I was just taking my gen eds that first year. I was in honors classes at Colonel White, actually, but I wasn't prepared to study in the way that college required. And so I just wasn't ready. So I ended up flunking all my classes in the spring and didn't withdraw. And it was like a 0.5 GPA, what I had. And so I left and took about a year and a half off, tried to sell weed. That didn't work out. That didn't work out for me.
It's the greatest interview ever, I'm telling you, man. Like,
Hustling.
I'm hoping this gonna be a little vanilla interview, and you like dropping some of the realest stuff I've ever heard in my life. All right, so you tried to sell weed.
I tried to sell weed, and my daughter is probably, I'm in North Lake Hills at the time. My daughter's probably like, she might be like 2. And my brother, he was living with me too. My mom was too. And some white dude come to the door. It's like 10:30, and he come to the door to buy some weed. And that's when it hit me, like, he could push the door in. You know, this is dangerous. My daughter's back there. My brother's back there. I said, take your ass back to school. Right. You an intellectual. What you doing out here? You know, so that's when I went down to Sinclair.
Stop selling right then and there.
Oh, yeah, it was done. It was over with. And I wasn't making no money. I didn't know how to do that. I was opening up the little $10 bags, taking weed out for myself. Like, it just didn't work out. It wasn't for me.
Oh, my God.
It wasn't the life for me. So I went to Sinclair, and that's when I found myself, like,
there we go.
I promote that school because, you know, I had tutors. Yeah. I love the learning environment. It's a small learning environment. We had a community of people. Yeah. I took my little remediation classes, and man, I was on the dean's list ever since. I went back to Wright State, dean's list, graduated from there, degree in sociology, bachelor's.
Congrats.
Thank you. And from there, I got 3 master's degrees since then.
Wow.
I got a master's degree. I got an MBA. I have a master's degree in entrepreneurship and a master's degree in urban planning, design, and development.
So like, what fueled you to continue on with your education after hitting those different failure points in life? Like, what propelled you?
Student loans. The student loan money. I ain't gonna lie. I like school, but I wouldn't have just got 3 master's degrees just because I like school.
So that's definitely gonna make it where Joe Biden is not gonna cancel student loan day. Because you know what, people just gonna quit. Nobody getting it canceled now because you said that's what motivated you was student loan.
Because I've always been an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I've never liked working for people. I probably had maybe 2 or 3 real like employee jobs. I've always been a contractor. Mm-hmm. And so
tell me about a time where like you gracefully quit a job. Like, yep. Nah, F this.
Okay, okay. In Atlanta, 2006, the woman, I lived in the suburbs, east of Stone Mountain, if anybody know Atlanta. So my commute was probably like 20 miles each way. And doing that every day, man, like my back was hurting. It was too much. So
that way 20 minutes back, 40 minutes.
Oh no, it would take 45 minutes. It was 20 miles, but it took like 45 minutes. And don't let there be traffic. It would take an hour. And this was before everybody started moving to Atlanta. Oh man. So you know, my supervisor, it was a nonprofit. My supervisor, she said, "We having this fundraiser. You got to be here." And I'm like, I ain't feeling that, Right. And so she told me that, this is your job, yada, yada, yada. And I looked at her and I said, I don't have to be here. And she was a white woman and she went completely flush red. And I said, you don't have to be here. And I'm not doing that. And the next day I went into work. She had went and got the security people and they escorted me off the premises. Wow. They fired me and escorted me off the premises.
How you get fired on your day off?
It wasn't my day off. I was supposed to be. I was the grant writer.
Oh, okay.
So that wasn't in my job description to do that stuff. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I just didn't like people telling me what to do. So she fired me, and it was a wrongful termination. So I ended up getting they had to compensate me for I had already put my notice in. That's what it was. That's what made me bold enough to be able to say that, because I had already put my notice in. I was getting ready to take off and do my business.
Oh, so she was trying to get fly with you because she knew that you was already leaving, on some try to.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you come in.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. But I was already planning to leave because I had started Grant Source already, and I was gonna make that leap. And she had, yeah. So, yeah.
For sure. so what led up to you starting grants and things of that nature?
I kept getting laid off by the nonprofits, and they basically would use me to come in and fix stuff, and then they would let me go. And then, but that was when I went to Atlanta. It was just one
of those nonprofits.
Oh man, I work for Jane Fonda's nonprofit. It's called GCAT, Georgia something for adolescent pregnancy prevention. I wrote grants for her for a while, and I took that job, and they told me that I could work from home, that I would be able to, because that was my thing. This commute is not for me. And so, they hired me under the premises that, you'll be able to work from home some days. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then they changed the story once I actually started working there. And they fired me too. I came in, and that's the thing.
I said you became entrepreneurs and kept getting fired.
That's when my husband was like, you know what? F these nonprofits. Why don't you just start your own? Why don't you just start your own grant writing business? And I was like, dang, you right. I should, and I will. And then I did that, and I ain't been back to work since.
There we go.
That was 2007.
What do you find most rewarding about when someone finally is get their grant and you wrote it for them, and you see them literally go from, I don't know, I'm gonna keep the doors open to thank you so much,
I don't work with them kind of people. I started off wanting to work with black people. But black people didn't have no money. Black people couldn't pay me enough to pay my bills. So I had to go back to the drawing board, revamp my strategy, And I settled on nonprofits because back then grant money was for nonprofits. All the grant money that's available for businesses now, that didn't exist back then. So I settled on nonprofits, small to medium sized nonprofits with an average of $1 million in budget size. So those folks were my clients. So they were small enough that they couldn't afford to hire somebody full time, and large enough to where they could pay me. And I've helped them folks raise $18 million. So what?
I'm talking about.
And
That's a stat right there.
The grant money wasn't the grant money. What most people have a misconception about grant money. Grant money is awarded to organizations that already have money. So if you a startup and you're looking for a grant, which is what most of us say, dang, I need a grant. I want to get me a grant. It don't work like that. So when you come to the table, they're like banks, they're investors. So they're social investors. So when you come to them, you have to show that you have a proven track record. You got money already. So the grant proposal says, hey, this is everything that we do. We're coming to you because we want to expand our program. We want to serve 100 more disadvantaged kids. And your funding is going to help us to serve that extra 100 disadvantaged kids. And if we don't get your money, we still going to be okay. Right? That's what grant money does. If your business is, you just starting out, like, you're not going to get no grant money. You want to fund your startup yourself. And then you want to track your outcomes. That's what I was asking you. You want to track those outcomes because when you approach a funder or a grantor, you want to say, we have a proven model that works. And now we're looking for outside investment so that we can expand it and serve more people.
Absolutely. To me, it put me in the mindset of like don't go to the grocery store when you already hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like, already make sure you got something flowing before you go asking. You know what I'm saying? Because then you may, for instance, like a lot of times I got to help people and then they end up getting like an unsecured loan and things of that nature because you don't qualify for anything else.
Got you.
But yeah.
Right.
And also like there's a misconception about paying taxes and it being bad for like people. Yes, I understand people hate taxes, but it shows accountability on your business when you pay your taxes.
Yeah.
Right. So can you tell them other tips that can help them be, better acclimated to receiving grants?
All right. Becoming grant ready, I would say taxes. Number one. And most funders want at least 2 years, 2 to 3. These certifications are asking for 3.
Yeah.
So, and even if you don't make no money, that's what people like, I ain't filed my taxes because I ain't make no money. Now, even take a loss because that's pretty standard. Businesses for the most part can do 2 to 5 years and take a loss and it be okay by the IRS.
Yeah, it's okay to have a failing business, right? Like,
that don't show that it's failing. It just shows that it's not generating the income that passes the amount of money that you invest in. Say like for a tech company, a high tech company.
Right.
You're gonna dump a whole bunch of money into the tech for the first few years, before you see a profit, and that's okay. But as long as you're showing revenue, then they can see that the business model is actually working.
Right.
So. Like right now, I talked to David Lytle down at the Human Relations Council. Man,
I cannot wait to bring him in for our.
You're not gonna be there next Thursday.
But I'm sending everybody there Thursday.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he gonna be there because I want him to tell people directly out of his mouth how much money is available to us right now. And it's only paperwork that's standing in the way.
Yep.
So that's what we doing next Thursday. We helping you with your paperwork. So that's my personal goal. I want to get as many people, as many Black entrepreneurs to go to him and get. And those are loans though.
Yeah.
They do have a grant program, but he said it's probably not going to be coming around no time soon.
The MCO grant would range from $2,500 to $25,000. They also got a bond insurance. They also have a business line of credit. There's so many different stuff that for women-owned businesses. It's 500,000 0 to 3%. It's so much money down there, and that's why I can't wait to hand the group off to them because of the fact of everybody in the group has already got their AAA certification,
Right.
mainly, and then they're in the process of getting their MBE, which, you know what I'm saying, this is perfect glove and hand fit. Like I said, I was blown away. You was like, yeah, like, and he want to come down, so bring him down.
Right. We on the same page.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Where does that love of community come from?
My grandmother, she fed the whole neighborhood. Everybody came to our house to eat.
Bro, ain't that my story? Like, that's literally my grandmother. Like, my grandmother was that person who took care of the whole neighborhood. Like
what was your grandmother's name?
Annie Bonaparte.
Where you grew up at?
Westwood.
They probably knew each other.
Absolutely.
Did she go to Shiloh Baptist Church?
Nah,
that's where my grandmother went.
Like
okay. Yeah. Yep. My grandmother, man. She we just grew up.
What's your grandmother's name?
Ruby Moore.
Ruby Moore.
She touched a lot of people's lives. Yeah, including mine, man.
Yes.
She was about it too. Like, she would go get my mother out of them crack houses. I'd be at home crying. My mom be gone 2 and 3 days. We go get her.
Wow.
You get home and you take care of these babies, and she had all of us, all her kids. We was all up in there in that one bedroom, but we didn't know that we were poor.
Right.
Because she was making homemade rolls with butter on them. Oh, they were so delicious. Ice cream. And she was the 4-H, she worked for Ohio Cooperative Extension. And that's when she would go back to the DeSoto Bass and teach people how to cook and how to shop on the money that they had. And she feed the neighborhood. We all come over to Nanny's house to eat. And then we go back outside and we finish playing. So it's her energy, that I carry on. And I get to do it. I get to move money around for people, And I always said, like, dang, I would love to be able to do this for my people. 18 million for my people. What does that look like? I never would have thought I would be back here in Dayton. And got a divorce last year. And now I'm back. And I'm like, I get to do that.
Yeah.
I get to do that. So that's what I'm doing.
Wow. So, like, what's next for you?
Shop Black Biz Dayton. Started off as an Instagram page. This thing done took over my life in a good way. I'm at the stage with Grant Source. I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to do with it. Like, I'm not promoting it. I'm not promoting the grant writing because my mind just don't work like that no more. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2018.
Wow.
And so I spent a couple of years, just had 3 surgeries, chemo, all of that. And but my business, I had structured it such that and automated it such that I've been quasi-retired for 10 years. And that just means that I get to choose which projects I want to work on. I ain't got to chase money. And so it only required 5 to 10 hours a week of work from me, which was a blessing because I didn't have the energy to work, during that time. So now I see why I worked so hard to automate my business because it was going to need to take care of me. And so I've had those clients. They've been with me between 10 and 15 years. And so I still write their grants. But now it's like, I know my mind don't even work like that no more. It was probably a whole year where just mentally, like, I couldn't put 2 sentences together coherently because my mind was just so jumbled up. But now, like, I'm getting my faculties back. I'm feeling good. I'm getting back. I would say I'm back to normal now. I'm back to normal now. So I'm not sure what I want to do with Grant Source. I'm thinking I want to apply for this federal funding.
Yeah.
Under that umbrella. So I'm going to look and see what I want to do there. But what I want to do, I want to teach the younger generation is grant writing. Because, we need a pool of those here. Yeah. Now that the proposals we can submit for funding now, everybody going to need a business plan. All a grant is a business plan. That's all it is. You just got to be able to tell your story and you got to make your organization look sustainable. That's all it is.
I got a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
On the shopblackbusiness.com, you getting any good feedback on it?
Man,
from the community yet? Like, because you just started this year, or
I just started
whoever,
it in November.
Okay.
Shop Black Biz Dayton is BIZ. Shopblackbizdayton.com. I mean, I have received such a warm welcome from people. Everybody, I mean,
it's gonna help
the black book.
it is. It's the black pages. That's what somebody called it. The black pages.
Yeah.
So Launch Dayton wrote the press release for me. Dayton Daily News said that they were interested, so they received that. She connected me with Public Radio. They have a publication. I interviewed with her yesterday. You have been promoting it. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Spectrum called me today, told me they're giving me a $7,500 grant, free advertising. I've been on Unapologetically Black podcast. I was on Hankin. Yep. Hankin TV a couple weeks ago. We were at the UD event at the president's house.
Yeah.
The UD folks.
The Greater West Dayton Conversation. Shout out to
Thank you.
The Greater West Dayton Incubator.
GWDI. So the UD folks have been passing it around internally. I mean, so it's been well received.
That's amazing that like you just
well
started
received,
that and you're right there in the mix for everything going on good.
It's divine order.
I'm telling you, listen, if I run through you multiple times throughout a week, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Like it'd be so many times
you be everywhere.
Because that's all I'm doing.
Right,
like and
right.
it's funny to running you in the same place. I'm like, man, what?
Right.
Or like it'd be an event I was invited to and I had a different event I had to go to and I look in the pictures and see you there.
Right,
like,
right.
I still would have ran into it.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. Yeah.
Like, but yeah, man, like I'm super proud. Like, I mean, there's to me to see like the other extension of what I'm trying to build on like on one front and what you're building on the other part, it just had to like
right.
you know, like connect. And it's just weird. Well, I won't say weird. I'm just saying it's dope to see someone that does it in genuine spirit, because a lot of people, I mean, and pretty sure like you've seen this or you're gonna see this, you're gonna have people that's gonna be tugging on you just because they want to have a piece of something that's going in a positive direction, but they may not have the most purest intention.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to say no names, but I remember being somewhere and somebody was saying like, "Oh yeah, man, 'cause y'all could do this, that, and the third, and turn that to a TV show." I said, "Bro, people in here going through it. Last time I want to put a big camera in their face and put them all on TV. It ain't exploiting these people. Like, nah, like no, like that's not what this is about. This is about pulling us up.
Right.
Like seriously, so like to see you having that too is just it's one of a kind also.
Yeah. And I applaud you. Thank you for your service. Twin.
That we always So what's another path that like you could have chose if you didn't, put all your focus and energy into what you're doing now today?
Another path? That's a good question. I don't know. I could have tried to keep selling weed. I could have tried that. I could have went and got a job.
Just keep it clean.
I could have stayed, I could have stayed at the job,
Well, here on the Legendary People podcast, we're actually saving up for a time machine, right? So whenever you get a grant ready to write us up a grant proposal to make a time machine, we're going to actually have it in the podcast room so guests can go back in time.
Okay.
And go back in one part of their life. Where would you go and what would you say to yourself with this new time machine?
Oh, I do this all the time in my meditations. I done went back and picked up all the fragmented pieces of myself, all those broken moments where I wasn't allowed to process my emotions and just suppress it, because that's what you do. You move on, you quit crying. I was a crier, and I always heard, Sean always crying. Shut up, Sean, you always crying. I'm give you something to cry for, But I'm sensitive. I'm asensitive. And so that's what I've been doing. The cancer was probably the capstone of my spiritual evolution. And that just let me know that from here on out, I'm doing ish for me. It's about me because I was a self-sacrificer. I was always a giver. I'm a giver.
Yeah.
Right?
Trust me, I understand.
I'm a giver. And so I would overgive to the point of exhaustion. Life was just mirroring back to me all the things that I needed to heal within myself. So, I've gone back and gotten that little girl, who the boys told they were going to run a train on. That didn't feel good, So I had to go back and get her and let her know that, baby, you don't have no guidance. You out looking for love in the wrong places, which became a pattern, even into my adulthood, So just her, I went back to get my 5-year-old self. I gave her a hug. I see her standing at my father's casket, looking at him. I see her. I have to go back and get her and sit her in my lap and rub her head, her edges, and say, baby, you're going to be okay. This is happening to make you better. Your future self is strong as hell because of this. You know? So I've done that work, and it has taken a whole cycle of 10 years for me to get to the point where I feel like I pretty much went back and rescued all of my wounded parts,
Wow. That's profound, because here on the Legendary People podcast, we have this thing called the butterfly effect. Either something you said in the course of the interview or something I found in the course of my research that I found to be truly profound and amazing. Like, to hear you say that answered my very next question I was going to ask you. And I was going to ask you, with you going back in that time machine, what does that person look like? And then you answered it with your answer there of that person that you got a chance to go back and fix through meditation, which is it's just being one with self.
Yeah.
And forgiving yourself, because like I understand what that's like, because like a lot of times we're just so strong that we don't look at that blind side weakness. Yeah. And that blind side weakness is us just feeling like we could have changed something, but that's ego. Like, it wasn't our fault.
Yeah. Right.
Like, it just completely wasn't our fault.
It's a life circumstance.
It's a life circumstances, and for you to go back and then notice that and forgive yourself, that shows someone that is that right now through this interview, some little girl who's right there, is gonna get a chance to understand that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Because at certain points in our life, we didn't know for sure. Yeah. But to be those examples for other people, I mean, like, that is poetry only God can write. Right. Like,
absolutely.
Man, absolutely. Your story is legendary.
Well, thank you. I agree. I would agree. Looking back on it, I can see.
So for the people, give out your handles, and people who want to get involved in the blackbusiness.com, how can they get a hold of you, all the ways they could contact you?
Okay. So shop Black Biz, BIZ, DAYTON.com is the website. It is a directory for Black businesses in Dayton. Okay. If you have not listed your business,
I'm on there.
Go to the home page of the website, complete that form, submit for your listing, because it ain't gonna be free past February 28th.
So get in now.
Get it in now. I will be charging for it after February 28th.
Okay,
so they right. So get it in. It's free right now. Go to the website is the primary method of communication, and the Instagram page. Shop Black Biz Dayton. That's all of the social media handles. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Shop Black Biz, B-I-Z, Dayton. TikTok, my girlfriend's managing Facebook and TikTok. I focus on the Instagram because the Instagram is set up that the highlights are the shopping categories. So I basically just go to your page, find something that I think will be intriguing, take it, pull it over into the highlight, and save it in the shopping category. So people who are looking to shop Black, they can go to those shopping categories and learn about all of the businesses that are here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
I'll send you my book.
Yes, please. Yeah. Because we got an author category.
Perfect.
Whitney, the only one in there right now.
Whitney, I'm coming for you. Move your little book on the still.
That's right. You get the second spot.
Move your look. Her book is actually here.
Her big book. Yeah, pull it over here. Let's do it. I feel like every black household should have this book. Hey, black girl.
You got me back here.
Yeah, I got it. It's perfect right there.
Hey, black girl.
Okay.
So, tell us about the book signing tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we're going to be at Dayton Library West, 11 to 12:30. Whitney is going to perform the book, and she's going to, we're going to have a book reading, book signing, and a self-empowerment discussion. So what this is, and we got another young lady in the room. For me, growing up as a young black girl, my edges, my hair, I didn't have edges that laid down. My nose was too wide. My butt was too big. My skin was too dark. I didn't talk proper. I love Ebonics. I accept that about myself now. I love it. I got 3 master's degrees, and I'm gonna talk Ebonics.
For sure.
So that was something that I had internal conflict around. I had to accept that about myself. But growing up, we're told we talk too loud, or our hair is too kinky. 4C is a thing now. We love it, but growing up, my hair wasn't straight. It wasn't curly, and so. And nobody told me that those things were okay. Right. So this book is telling little black girls that no matter whether you're skinny, your butt is big, your nose is wide, your edges don't lay down, it's fine. Because you are beautiful no matter what. In the skin that you're in. And it's beautifully illustrated. She illustrated it. It's simple. My niece, She's 5 going on 45. And I read it to her the first time. And I said, hey, black girl. She said, I ain't black. I'm brown.
I'm brown.
So I had to teach her about race.
Right.
And my nephews, they're like, but we're not black. So I had to say, okay, well, white people ain't white. They pink. Right. But for categorization and census and government purposes, we categorize people into these colors. So after that, she was okay with it. And then once
I thought I'd been like, huh?
Right. She 5 going on 45. Right. So once we sat down to read it again, she said, hey, black girl. And then she started bouncing. She said, I love that. And she got it. Wow. And then we had a conversation about her hair. Do you love your hair? She's like, no. So she's 5 and she already got insecurities.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, black girl, I think every black household should have it. She working on the hey, black boy phase of it. But this is a conversation starter. It gives some insight into what we go through as black women. We know we black people, and we know we live in America, and we know there are certain systematic issues that we all face. And we know that black men, we don't know y'all struggle. Right. We don't know the intimacies of all of the things that you all are challenged with every day. And we have them too. So I just feel like, this is us consciously telling our little black girls that, baby, you beautiful just the way you are. And don't let society tell you anything otherwise. And if that happens, you know how to go within yourself and say, nah, I don't believe it. Right. I know something different about myself. Right. So that's what I'm doing with my niece.
And I challenge the men to read it as well, because then you will understand your female counterparts a whole
lot
better.
Absolutely.
Especially the fathers of these little black, beautiful girls.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, man.
Thank you, Peanut.
This is the greatest interview ever. Oh, my God, man. Listen.
We had a few people in the comments. Miss Bunny Roberts said she followed you on IG.
Yay, thank you, Bunny.
Portress Miss Pullen says she's been waiting to put together a directory of black businesses in Dayton, and she's glad someone did it.
You can come and help. You still can.
Come on through,
baby. Through. Yeah.
Bring your resources.
That's right.
Take a community of people.
It is. It's a whole village.
So
and
contact her on IG and those platforms she mentioned, Miss Pullen.
Yeah, DM me on Instagram, Ladybug, for sure.
Take us out, Mr. Peanut.
Wait. One more thing I want to say. Okay. So, your auntie Carolyn Dunson.
You know her?
No, I'm just saying, like you did some special things with some special oil for her that helped her when she was having issues with her legs before. Can you give us that story? I want to hear that story.
I love cannabis. I love everything about cannabis. I went out to Denver a few times because it was legal. You know, took some classes, learned how to extract the THC and the CBD from the plant. It is a healing plant. Our bodies have cannabinoid receptors.
Absolutely.
And it will heal so much, which is why the pharmaceutical industry is making money.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But let cannabis, once it becomes fully legal and everybody get a hold to it, this is my prediction. It's going to cripple the pharmaceutical industry. Absolutely. Cripple it. But so I learned how to work with cannabis. And so one of my hobbies, one of my spiritual practices is I make shea butters and oils, and I put cannabis in everything.
You just like a black superhero, but it put money in your pocket and hit your bone.
Exactly. So,
connect y'all together.
Exactly.
Network and all.
That's right. It's a whole package.
Hey, twin.
Twin.
I'm about to come to networking jam.
You got to.
I'm gonna help you. Oh yeah. I'm there. I done been to 3 so far. I think. Yeah, I enjoy it. But yeah, people love it. They just tell me, you know, and I work with essential oils too. So I use the essential oils, I use the cannabis, whether THC or CBD, and you know, I put it in butter, I put it in oil, I cook with it, I can make some cooking oil. I make a lock oil that people love, say it makes their hair grow like weeds. I have a garden on the side of my house where I grow lavender, rosemary, basil. And so I use those, and I extract the medicinal properties from those plants, and then I just mix all that together.
Oh my, listen here. All right. All right. God took his time on you, obviously. You God created player.
You thought you was busy.
I know. Right? Oh my
Blessing.
God. Yeah, this has been a legendary video podcast.
Thank you, Beanut.
People, legendary stories.
Thank you, Kevin.
So much.
Thank you so much. Marsha Moore, thank you for she the one who reached out to you.
Ms. says she's only on Facebook. Give your Facebook name for the contact.
Shop Black Biz Date.
Okay.
Shop Black Biz Date. That's all the social media handles. It's consistent. All of those were available.
Miss Bunny said you have to visit the wellness house.
Oh, yeah.
Where is that?
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
You got it.
All right, we're going to go over there?
Yeah.
We're going to make some footage?
Sure.
Let's make a video. Let's do it.
Sure.
Let's do it.
All right, Ease, you go ahead and you ain't got to do the sponsors, man. Sven knows.
Can I do my sponsors?
Yeah, do your
sponsors for get out of here.
But no, my sponsor for sure is Horizon Science Academy, Dayton High School. You ain't cool if you don't go to that school. Shout out to Kiara Wine. Michael Wright, Agnes. Yeah, there you go. See, you
all them folks is in the directory too. Now Horizons is not.
Run your promotions.
All right, so Love Your Stationery, Whitney B. Thank you. She's donating the Hey Black Girl book and puzzle for the raffle. We got DA Studios. She's donating $50 in alteration services. Holy Ground. She's donated a gift card. Delicious donating a gift card. The Hands. He's donating Bodyworks. A Power Media is donating a free photo shoot. Live Arts with Media is donating a basket, and that's just a few of the folks. Thank you, Spectrum. I'm looking forward to these TV ads coming out. Thank you, WROU, and yeah, that's good for now.
There we go. And also Official Network and Chill.
Official Network and Chill. Thank you, and Dash Resource.
What's the date and time? Days and times for those.
Monday, 6:00 p.m. You gotta hit us in the DMs because we're a secret society. All we have to trust. I'm just playing. You guys can always text me at 937-530-3299, and I'll get you on the list of the RSVPs. You know what I'm saying? Because we
legendary people, legendary stories, legendary city.
There, hey,
I like that. I like that.
We add